Most people waste time on tiny repeated tasks and do not even notice it. Copying information from one app to another, saving email attachments, posting the same update in multiple places, moving leads into a spreadsheet, sending reminders manually, renaming files, checking the same website or dashboard again and again. One task may only take 2 minutes, but if you repeat it every day, it quietly becomes hours of wasted time. That is where automation tools can help. Automation is not just for programmers, and it is not only for big companies. Beginner-friendly automation tools can connect your apps and make simple tasks happen automatically. In this video, I'll show you the best types of automation tools for beginners, what each one is useful for, and how to choose the right tool without getting overwhelmed. By the end, you'll have a simple way to decide what to automate first. Let's start with the basic idea. Automation usually follows a simple formula. When this happens, do that. That is it. When a form is submitted, add the answer to a spreadsheet. When a new file is uploaded, send a notification. When a customer books a call, create a calendar event. When a new YouTube video is published, add a task to your content tracker. This is called a trigger and an action. The trigger is what starts the automation. The action is what happens next. Once you understand that, automation tools become much less confusing. The first tool beginners should know is Zapier. Zapier is one of the most popular no-code automation platforms because it connects many different web apps. It is useful when you want common business tools to talk to each other. For example, you could connect Gmail, Google Sheets, Slack, Notion, Trello, Calendly, or many other apps. A simple Zapier workflow might be when someone fills out a form, add their information to a spreadsheet and send you an email. Another example, when a new order comes in, create a task for follow-up. Zapier is good for beginners because the structure is easy to understand. You choose a trigger, then you choose an action, then you test it. It is a strong starting point if you want automation for work, business, marketing, sales, or content operations. The second tool is Make. Make is another powerful automation platform, but it uses a more visual workflow builder. Instead of seeing automation as a simple list of steps, you can see modules connected together like a flowchart. This can be helpful if you like visual systems. For example, you could create a workflow that watches a folder, checks the file type, sends information to another app, and updates a spreadsheet. Make can feel more advanced than Zapier at first, but it is useful when your workflow has multiple steps or branches. If Zapier feels like a simple checklist, Make feels more like a visual map. For beginners, I would not start with complicated scenarios. Start with one simple workflow, one trigger, 1 or 2 actions, then build from there. The third tool is IFTTT. IFTTT stands for If This, Then That. It is built around small automations called applets. It is especially useful for simple personal productivity, smart home, mobile, and everyday app connections. For example, you might save social posts, connect reminders, log activity, or trigger smart home actions. IFTTT is not always the best choice for complex business workflows, but it is beginner-friendly because the idea is very simple. If this happens, then do that. That makes it a good place to learn how automation works. The fourth tool is Microsoft Power Automate. This is especially useful if you already use Microsoft tools like Outlook, Excel, OneDrive, SharePoint, or Teams. A simple example would be when an email with an attachment arrives, save the attachment to OneDrive. Or when a form response comes in, notify a team member in Teams. Power Automate can be very useful for office workflows because it fits naturally into the Microsoft ecosystem. If your work already happens inside Microsoft apps, this may be a practical tool to explore. The fifth tool is N8N. N8N is more technical than the other tools, but it is worth knowing about because it can be powerful as you grow. It is often used by people who want more control over workflows, data, APIs, and self-hosted automation. For a total beginner, N8N may not be the first tool I would choose. But if you are building a serious automation system over time, it is a tool to keep on your radar. Think of it this way. Zapier is often easiest to start. Make is great for visual workflows. IFTTT is good for simple, everyday automations. Power Automate is useful inside the Microsoft ecosystem. And NA10 is useful when you want more flexibility and technical control later. Now let's talk about how to choose the right automation tool. Do not choose based on hype. Choose based on your actual workflow. Ask yourself 4 questions. First, what task do I repeat often? Second, what apps are involved? Third, does the task follow a clear trigger and action? Fourth, what happens if the automation makes a mistake? That last question is important. Do not start by automating something risky. Start with low-risk tasks. For example, organizing notes, copying information, creating reminders, saving files, updating trackers, or sending internal notifications. Avoid automating important financial, legal, customer, or security actions until you understand how the tool works. Here's a simple beginner automation idea. Imagine you run a content channel. Every time a new video idea is approved, you want to create a production checklist. The automation could be, when a new row is added to a content tracker, create tasks for script, voiceover, video, thumbnail, bushes, and share statuses. That kind of automation saves time because it turns one approved idea into a production workflow. Here's another example. If someone fills out a contact form, you can automatically add the response to a spreadsheet, send yourself a notification, and create a follow-up task. That is useful for small businesses. Here is a personal productivity example. If you receive an email with a receipt, save the attachment to a folder. Here is a learning example. If you save an article to a reading list, add it to a study tracker. These are not flashy automations, but they are useful. And useful is what matters. Now let's cover the biggest beginner mistake. Most beginners try to automate too much too fast. They build a complicated workflow before they understand the simple version. That creates confusion. A better approach is to start with one small automation that saves time every week. Build it, test it, watch it run, then improve it. Automation should reduce your workload. If maintaining the automation takes more time than the task itself, it is not helping yet. Here is the simple rule I recommend. Automate tasks that are repeated, rule-based, and low-risk. Repeated means you do the task often. Rule-based means the task follows a clear pattern. Low-risk means a mistake would not create a serious problem. If a task has all 3, it is a good automation candidate. Before we finish, here is a beginner-friendly plan. Pick one tool. Pick one repeated task. Write the workflow in plain English. Identify the trigger. Identify the action. Build the simplest version. Test it with sample data. Then use it for 1 week. That is how you learn automation without getting overwhelmed. The best automation tool is not always the most powerful one. It is the one that helps you remove repeated work from your day. Start simple. Automate one small task. Then use what you learn to build better workflows over time. If this helped, subscribe to AI Daily for simple AI tools, beginner-friendly tutorials, and productivity workflows. And if you want to be notified when the next beginner AI workflow goes live, turn on notifications after you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.